wrap things up. All right. So when I went to break, did a little teaser on DeMarcus Cousins. Boogie, one of the great Sacramento Kings we've ever seen. Certainly more controversial than some of the others that have been great. But it is DeMarcus Cousins' birthday. We'll have more on that coming up on Celebrity Birthdays. Excuse me. But happy birthday to DeMarcus. But every time I think about DeMarcus Cousins, I think about where he kind of falls in the history of the Sacramento Kings. And to me, DeMarcus, it's not really even a statistical debate. It's more of, I don't even know how to put it. Not moral, but like, because statistically, DeMarcus Cousins, I think there's no doubt in my mind that he would belong as a player that has done enough to warrant having a jersey retired. And maybe that's a debate for some of you. Like, I mean, DeMarcus, I think if you're really looking at it, has the most, maybe the most talented Sacramento King. If not, the short list has to be DeMarcus, Chris Webber, Mitch Richmond, Fox Sabonis. I mean, that's kind of the group we're talking about. And Fox and Sabonis, that'll be another conversation point. Sabonis is still here. Fox has a lot of the all-time leaders stat-wise. But DeMarcus Cousins recently was talking about, in whose podcast was this? Oh, Eddie House and Mike Bibby. And they were talking about jersey retirement. So, quote, "It would be an honor. That was something that I wanted and strive for as far as why I tried to go out and perform every night. Accolade-wise, I did everything right in that jersey under the organization regarding All-Stars, All-NBA selections, numbers, and gold medals. I think I put my work in and earned my stripes." DeMarcus, his numbers were impressive. 7 years in Sacramento, 21 points, 10.8 rebounds, 3 assists, shot almost 46%, 32 from 3. He was versatile. Made all-star teams, made all-NBA. I mean, if you look at Sacramento's history, of retired numbers, here's the list. While in Sacramento, we know there's other jerseys up there from the other timeline in Sacramento, in Kansas City, Rochester, and so on and so forth. But if we're going just Sacramento, these are the people that have had their jersey retired. And we start with Mitch Richmond. Number 2 is up in the rafters. Chris Webber's number 4 is up in the rafters. You have the Fans. Number 6 is up in the rafters. Peja's number 16 is in the rafters. And Vlade's number 21 is up in the rafters. So when you think about all-time Sacramento leaders, DeMarcus is up there in many of the categories. And really, it's been more about personality, kind of the off-the-court things that have happened for DeMarcus. And that's fair. I mean, I get that. But you as a Kings fan, when you hear that, do you think that DeMarcus Cousins deserves to have his jersey retired as a Sacramento King? I don't think it would be for any other team. He was doing well with New Orleans, but then that changed when he got hurt. Went on to the Lakers and to the Warriors. I think even the Clippers. Didn't he have a brief run with the Clippers? But DeMarcus, for some, they would say, no. He should not be in the rafters. That's select company. Did he have a better career as a King than Peja? Than Vlade? Now we go back to winning. Those guys were on better teams. I think it's a good debate. The only way Cousins' jersey goes into the rafters if there's an official's jersey right beside him so they can argue every game. Okay. because Cousins, let me see. So they can RV every game or two. The Cousins jersey falls from the rafters because it gets 2 texts and gets ejected. That's Craig in Wisconsin. And he's 45 minutes away from free burger, so I'll pass. But I'll think about it for sure. All right, thank you, Craig, for answering that part. This one from the 916 might be a hot take, but I think we have too many jerseys retired. We need a Kings Royal Circle or some sort of Hall of Fame to recognize these people for sure. We love these guys and everything they did for the franchise, but the bar needs to be a little bit higher, in my opinion. That's a very interesting take. It is a hot take. And I think if we go back to when, I think there's no doubt Mitch Richmond jersey retired. None, right? I don't think there's no doubting that. And I think there's no doubting Chris Webber. When Vlade and Peja went up, if I'm not mistaken, that was either in the same year or within a year of each other. And there was some debate at the time. Kings, I was here, I was working, I remember it. Like there was a little drop in attendance. The fan fervor for this team was lower. Kings weren't playing that well. And it was a little bit of a, hey, boost, let's have Peja night, let's have Vlade night. And again, those two guys to me are terrific people, fantastic players. Vlade is in the Hall of Fame. Peja, I think, even came around maybe at the wrong, like he still was incredible. Peja is one of the great players the Sacramento Kings have had. I think he'd even be better today, if that makes sense, based on the volume of three-point shooting and where he would be looked at. But he was great. Alan says DeMarcus was the flower blooming on the pile of cow manure, not worthy of a jersey retirement. Okay, that's why I asked the question. So what would be a fair comp? Because that hot take we had from the 916, feeling like maybe the Kings have too many. So I thought this would be a fair comp. And let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah, okay. So they've been around nearly as long. But the Minnesota Timberwolves have been a team that I would say has roughly the same amount of success as the Sacramento Kings. They haven't been to the championship. Now we're talking Sacramento Kings, so 40 years of basketball. The Timberwolves have been around since the late 80s, 1989. So the Kings got here in 1985. So I feel like your comps are close. They had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year run of making the playoffs in the 90s to early 2000s. They then made the playoffs one time in 2017 or 2018, and now have made it the last 4 years. So for the bulk of their existence, the Minnesota Timberwolves have not been a playoff team, much like the Sacramento Kings. And just going to give you some win totals early on: 22, 29, 15, 19, 20, 21, 26. Then they had the 8-year run: 33, 32, 24, 17, 14, 16, 31, 36, 19. Not a great team. Not a great team. So why I feel like those are comps, I think that makes sense, right? If you're just hearing that on the surface. So, Chris, I'll ask you this. I'll put you on the spot. Care to take a guess at the amount of retired jerseys or who they have retired for the Minnesota Timberwolves?
I'm guessing they've got...
And I don't expect you to know this answer. I mean, this is totally random.
Let's go with 4.
4? And just off the top of your head, any guesses on who the 4 might be?
Garnett.
Okay. And 3 others?
Yeah.
Okay. They have 2. One of them passed away tragically in Malik Sealy, and the other one is their coach, Flip Saunders. Kevin Garnett's jersey is not retired.
Huh.
I found that really interesting. I thought there could be some other candidates.
Haven't they had like a Kevin Garnett night there?
I think they have. And there still may be a time where his jersey gets retired. But that's an organization I think if we fairly compare, and I think it's a good comp, and until the last couple of years, I remember doing this factoid at one point here on the show that, the Kings in that, whatever it was, 16, 17-year drought of not making the playoffs, they did not have the worst record in basketball. Actually, Minnesota did. Now, Minnesota had made the playoffs once in that range, but had they not had that, they would have been just like the Kings. They had a long drought going. And now, the last 4 years, obviously, they've been better. They've been a playoff team, and we may see Ant or someone else over time have their jersey retired.
I am looking into this Garnett thing, and apparently he had some sort of feud with ownership.
Okay. Well, I think part of the reason DeMarcus was traded ultimately, and I was one for that. I just thought they're not going to get to a point where they could win with DeMarcus. I think they have to move him. I was there. The Kings organization ultimately did that later. Well, ownership has to sign off on trades. Vivek Ranadive was here. He was the owner that elected to trade him, along with others and general manager and so on and so forth. So while Vivek Ranadive is owner, I don't know that we'll see DeMarcus Cousins get his jersey in the rafters. I'm not sure if there's a beef there or not, but I don't know that the Kings are openly looking to have a DeMarcus Cousins night. On the surface, Chris, would you say, if the Kings came to you and say, hey, Chris, do you think DeMarcus Cousins deserves to have his jersey retired? What do you say about that?
I would lean towards no.
Okay. Why? Just
He-
all of it?
Yeah.
All of
I
what
feel
DeMarcus is?
I feel like I could be talked into it. I feel like I could be talked out of it. And if you're retiring jerseys, I don't think there's really room to be on the fence.
I'm in that camp of Hall of
Chris
Fame.
Webber, of course,
There's
Chris
no
Webber
doubt, right? I don't
jersey
think
should be retired.
Yeah, I mean, poke the hole in why the hole to me in why Mitch Richmond shouldn't be. The only hole would be they didn't win enough. That's it. I don't find that to be completely Mitch Richmond's fault. The only hole really in Chris Webber is they didn't win a championship. Okay. But in the 40 years they've been here, to me, there's no doubt those are the two best players they've had. Where it's getting interesting, though, DeMarcus has played really well. He's kind of closer to the Mitch camp, where he was one of the greats at the time, one of the better centers. He's an all-star, all-NBA. Now he has more baggage to him, and there's more of a personality issue sometimes. Like DeMarcus, I'll go back to what I always said about DeMarcus back when he was here, is he is everything that everyone said about him. So think about that. It's like those that said he was the best in the community, great with kids, at times just funny and leader. Yes, but problematic issues, tough with the media, tough with teammates, sometimes grumpy. Yes. Tough with coaches, tough with PR staff. Yes, he was everything that everyone said about him. So that encompassed a lot, where there was much more positives about Mitch, much more positives about Chris Webber.
He was the player that I have never seen take the air out of an arena so many times.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's a Kings best player. And then he would get that first foul and everyone would be like, oh, is this where it gets to him? And then be he would do a quick foul that everyone saw it, but he's still complaining about the first one.
Yeah.
And everyone was just that's it. And then that's where it would seem like the other team would go on a run, and then that would be it.
And that's where I feel like, and I agree with you, Chris, because here's a texter saying the answer is no. Although he was an amazing player, he was an ass through the entire time he was here, from technicals to throwing tantrums. He is not worth wasting a number on forever. Wow, that's pretty harsh.
I always said that if DeMarcus was the type of player that not like a Jordan-like player, but
Right.
Jordan would find little things where he'd feel like people are against him, and that would take his game up a level.
Yeah.
If he had that in him, he would be unstoppable.
Yeah. He was like we would say, angry fox, look out for angry fox. Angry DeMarcus kind of derailed him and the team, like you said, and the arena.
And then that every other team knows that, so they're going to dig in and they're going to try and get him annoyed, and then they would succeed.
Yeah. Next text. DeMarcus was maybe the best center in the league and was good in the community. I don't care if he had a bunch of technicals. Okay. That's where I think if the Kings had this and really has the separator, I think if they had a ring of honor, which other teams have, and then also a jersey, like to me, the jersey is the no doubter, is the Hall of Fame, is the guy that you go, oh, absolutely, his jersey needs to be retired. I think there's a debate on DeMarcus, and the debate and where the wiggle room is not winning enough, and again, not entirely DeMarcus's fault, but also the attitude that we've been talking about here. So I think if you put him in a ring of honor, and it's something around the center of the mid-level of that where the ribbon banners are now, and something there that acknowledges some of the great players, coaches that they've had, but maybe that's a different specialty for jerseys. Like, quite honestly, when I looked up Minnesota as the comp, I cannot believe that Kevin Garnett is not have his jersey retired. But
from what I see, he's been offered it and he said no because of
so they got something
ownership
going on there.
So once I think the new owners take over,
it could happen.
Yeah.
And there'll definitely be a Kevin Garnett night. Is there anyone missing in your mind from the jerseys in Sacramento? I mean, I think he's the best candidate. I think we're going to have this same kind of thing with Fox and Sabonis. And Sabonis' time as Sacramento's not done. Fox is. I mean, Chris is also up there in almost all of the categories in Sacramento Kings history. Probably didn't win enough. I think perceived differently than DeMarcus for the majority of his career here. Some may have a different opinion of him now. But if that time comes, do you think De'Aaron Fox should have his jersey in the rafters?
I don't know.
It's not jumping at you, screaming out yes.
No.
Okay.
Because like what's weird is like I think it'd be better for Fox if the Kings became more successful now.
Oh, that would help him?
I think so.
How
Because
so?
because if the Kings get like worse and let's say they go on another run of not making the playoffs after he got traded and it felt like he was a part of the team
downfall.
going down and stuff like that, I could see that hurting him.
Maybe a little more anger and venom towards him. And then Sabonis is still here. And again, now he's putting up numbers that DeMarcus did, or even better at times. And where does he end up in the all-time list? And then does it become a longevity thing? Do they have to win more? That's where I think I like the Ring of Honor or some sort of, it doesn't have to be a Ring of Honor, some sort of something in the hallways there or some sort of significance. Then when you get to statues, that's a whole nother realm. But the one I will say, it's not even a Sacramento King. I think there's no doubt in my mind that Tisha Penicheiro should have her jersey retired.
Yes.
I think she got the raw end of the deal that when the Monarchs went away, Tisha was still playing and she went to LA and I think that was her last one, but she's one of the greatest players the WNBA has ever had. And the Monarchs won a championship. I don't know if she's still the all-time assist leader. That may have been passed by now, but Ruthie went up there, deserves it. Yolanda went up there, definitely deserves it. Jerry Reynolds, part of the Monarchs from the GM, went up there, deserves it. But to me, Tisha Penicheiro, no doubt in my mind, should have her jersey retired. That number 21 from the Monarchs should be up in the rafters at Golden One Center. I think there should be some sort of acknowledgement to Rick Adelman and Jeff Petrie. And then Dave and I have talked about this for years. Certainly the G-Man. I mean, that's got to happen. Has to. To me, that's not a negotiable one. But in some way, it doesn't have to be a jersey. It's just some sort of recognition.
Oh, we should have a dancing G-Man up there.
Dancing G-Man.
Bump your booty out there, brother.
Every time you go by, you press the button, bump your booty out there, brother.
It's like hips go back and forth.
Just doing a little. I mean, who says no? Who says no to that? Actually, I like that a lot. Up by the broadcast booth. Boop. Bump your booty out there, brother. Dancing G-Man. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I think DeMarcus would like that recognition. I think he's still fond of Sacramento. I think there's a lot of people still fond of DeMarcus. There's a lot of people that were upset with DeMarcus. I think you don't do it out of, hey, let's get a DeMarcus Cousins night. It's if you feel it, if an organization says we should do it, he deserved it, then you do it. But I don't know. I don't know of any other Kings players. I mean, I like this Isaiah Thomas story. I don't think there's enough there. Rudy Gay was a good player, but no. Yeah. It's kind of funny, though, that we've had Mitch, Weber, the fans, Peja, and Vlade, and Minnesota basically has had the same type of kind of 40 years, we'll say, or close to 40 years as the Kings, and they've got Malik Sealy and Flip Saunders. Wow. Let's see. Let's get a few more here from the text line. Not a big fan of retiring a bunch of jerseys. One day when we're good and win 10 championships, then you can do that. Weber and Mitch are fine. Probably not Peja and Vlade, but I wouldn't remove anyone. Yeah, I mean, once you're up there, you don't get hey, we're going to take you down. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, who retires 2 numbers for 2 different players? Retires the same number for 2 different players.
Okay, what are you referring to?
Don't the Yankees have?
They have multiples?
Yeah.
They should at number 9. Greg Nettles greater than Roger Maris. Who says no? While Chris laughs. Let me see. A big fat no on DeMarcus. Great talent, but so divisive on and off the court. He was a poor teammate and difficult to coach. He should still be playing, but no one wants that baggage. One more thing. Kings were never close to winning with him. Okay.
And unfortunately, the last thing we saw from him playing basketball was in Puerto Rico with him getting into it with the fans. Like, ugh.
That's right. That's right. Some things will never change. And it's funny. I mean, I've had good interactions with DeMarcus too. He can be funny. He can be engaging. Remember one time there was a Kings, was it Christmas party or year-end party? Maybe Christmas party. I mean, truly, like, he was so fun. He was running around the whole place. I think there was Kentucky was playing. Oh, it would have been in March. It was maybe a season ticket holder party. And Kentucky was in the Final Four maybe that year, or he was running around cheering for his team, but just super engaging and fun. But yeah, if we're stretching down that rabbit hole as far as that, why not have a photo of Ronnie Price dunking over Utah up in the rafters? That could go on like the wall or significant moments. I don't know, but all right, we appreciate that.
I think I've got a friend that still has the TiVo with that dunk on it.
Just saved.
Yeah.
All right. Well, happy birthday nonetheless.
Don't plug it into the internet.
To DeMarcus Cousins. All right, still to come in this hour. Who's hot and who's not? We'll go streaking as well. See if we continue on that trend. When we come back, a good day for the A's. Not